It's 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. And it is Thursday, September 11th, AD 2025. And we're live on multiple platforms. Thank you guys for joining. Rumble, YouTube. Well, YouTube, the most watched. Rumble, probably the second most. And then other platforms as well, including pill.net, Facebook, punchy.tv. Where else? Some people watch on Kick even. Some people watch on X live. And other platforms. The views expressed on this show do not represent me, Hake, James Anton Hake, not to be confused with other James Hakes, or Bond or JLP or the network or anything. No endorsement nor opposition implied. Take everything that you hear with a grain of salt. It's not that serious. Take even your own thoughts with a grain of salt. I don't even represent myself because I say stuff and I don't remember saying it. I speak unconsciously at times, and that's not right, and I shouldn't do it, but it happens. Everybody does it sometimes. Okay, so have some grace. And rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. As you all probably, perhaps, may know, Charlie Kirk was assassinated yesterday. I'm calling it an assassination because it's not right. It was, I think even if it was, I don't know if his wife, his widow, had an ex-boyfriend, but I was like, even if his wife had an ex-boyfriend who got mad at him for stealing his girl and hired an assassin, that's still an assassination. It's a public figure at a public place, and that was, anyway. Yeah, so we'll be taking your calls, your super chats. Yesterday I had Dylan Burns on, and the great, in a manner of speaking, Dylan Burns of the Hippy Dippy Roundtable. Shout out to him. Thanks to him for coming on. It got interesting, for sure. Greggatron gave me a coffee saying, where was the pushback? And I saw somebody saying, I've yet to see Hake stand 10 toes down, because I was letting him just speak and not challenging him on the crime crackdown or Trump not ending the wars. Because I didn't really care. I mean, whatever. I let people talk because I'm interested in their take. And then I don't really know what's going on, and I didn't feel like arguing. I just wanted to get his take so it's on record so that we know whatever. Okay, so, yeah, shout out and prayers for Charlie Kirk's widow, I guess. If a young woman is not supposed to be considered a widow, a young woman whose husband died, but she's a widow at this point. His wife, bereaved of her husband, and the children, like a 1-year-old son, maybe less than one, maybe just over one. He's born in 2024, and a daughter who was born, I don't know, 2022 or 2021. I think they married in 2021. Older wife, by the way. She was like 36. He's 31. That's common nowadays. Seriously, Hake? That is what you came up with? What? What? I'm looking at the Rumble chat. What? What? There was a great Punchy TV episode yesterday, by the way. Punchy TV, check it out on audio podcast if you like, with Anchor Baby, Hake, Derek, and Bill. Very nice. Shout out. World Wars I and II had lots of young widows. Yeah. Hake doesn't have the guts to push back. He waffles more than IHOP. Says, forgive your mama. That's amusing. Are you black? Or how'd you come up with that? Or is that a white simile or something? I push back when I care to push back. I push back against him on defunding single mothers, huh? Now you got the ego involved. You pricked my ego. No, I might have been wrong in how I handled him. I don't know. Whatever. live and learn, or live and still don't learn, or so-called live and never learn. That's the way of the world. Well, I see your calls coming in, everybody, from all over the world. I appreciate them, and I have seen your super chats coming in. We shall get to them. A whole lot of mess going on in the world. Happy 9/11. I say facetiously. I know that you're not supposed to say it like that, so pardon me. I disclaim. I know that a lot of New Yorkers, I've witnessed it firsthand, who come over, who I happen to run into, they respond all emotionally with when I bring up 9/11. Because we're over here in SoCal, Southern California, Los Angeles. Ducks rule, by the way, according to this thing. We're watching footage from San Onofre, the beautiful trails by the cliffs of San Onofre State Beach, California. Maintained by the Marines down there, I guess. Camp Pendleton Marines. Interest in plants over there, too. I don't know what those things are. But, yeah, 9/11 happened, and the fake emotional people like Chris Cuomo, shout out. He means well, right? But he's just basically a liberal emotional mama. But he's a nice guy. I appreciate him. And relatively honest at times, you know. Chris Cuomo of News Nation, formerly of Commie Nonsense Network, CNN. Oh, don't read the stickers, kids. I could do without stickers like that.
Sorry about the cuss word.
See, I apologize for the cuss word. Dog spit. Emotional mamas, liberals, pretend like we came together after 9/11. It was emotional coming together, right? The country was not united, and everybody felt nice towards George W. Bush for a second. And then they completely turned on him when he went all warmonger or whatever he was, right? Because he's going into Iraq or Afghanistan or both. And we thought it was like the Saudis or something, or certain Saudis. Come, Mr. Taliban, turn over bin Laden. Come, Mr. Taliban, turn over bin Laden. That's what I think of when I hear that song. Day-o, day-o. Anyway, guys, that's from some internet meme back in 2001, 2002, whenever, shortly after 9/11. There was this cartoon on the internet, my dad sent it to me, of Obama. I mean, no, not Obama. About bin Laden and the Taliban of Afghanistan. I guess they were hiding bin Laden, or they were letting bin Laden hide in Afghanistan or somewhere. No, I do not surf. I've surfed like twice, 3 times in my life. Oh, let me turn down the volume here so that this is not blasting your ears. Well, just a hint anyway. I like that I'm not talking too much in this here beach stream video. It's streamed on the internet because it's pre-recorded and uploaded, and then it premiered for you guys on YouTube, the Hake Report YouTube, and it's not live streamed. Aren't those birds sweet? So, what have we covered so far? And then we'll get going, okay? We got a disclaimer, Charlie Kirk, R.I.P., rest in peace, and a 9/11 emotion. 2001. I was 20 years old. No, 21. No, 20 and change. Getting ready to go for my morning bike ride. I was doing 2-a-day workouts because I was on the cross-country team at Azusa Pacific University. but I was kind of injured. I don't know if I was injured at that point. No, yeah, we did a workout. Oof, we did a hard workout that day because the coach is white and conservative and Christian, and he's like, if we don't work out today, the terrorists win. But my art teacher, liberal, he's like, we can't have class today because he's a liberal, emotional. But anyway, guys, let's just get right on with the beautiful show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? I'm fine. I have my American flag t-shirt on that says King of the Cage. I got it because I was in wrestling freshman year of high school. And my friend, also a state champion, well, not state champion, but state level, CIF state level wrestler, very qualified. And then I watched him after college doing MMA, mixed martial arts, King of the Cage stuff. Watched him get knocked out in the Soboba Casino outside of the casino, over in the desert, outside of has the American Fleagle, American Eagle, what's a Fleagle? And if my shoulders were broader and I did actual like shoulder exercise, shoulder press, like the guy whom I had to ban, recommended I do, then you would see King of the Cage uninterrupted. But this right print is so wide it goes all the way to my armpits. But nice. The bald eagle, beautiful American symbol of freedom, and the beautiful American flag. Don't ask me what that is, but it's something cool, and there's nice. How are my arms? So anyway, nice, sweet. I started to wear a tri-blend version of Bond t-shirt, Jesse Lee Peterson's nonprofit, Rebuilding the Family by Rebuilding the Man. But I'm like, this is uncomfortable, size medium, and I'm getting bigger and stronger, allegedly, or just fatter. Okay, so you guys have accused me of being skinny fat. I don't like that term, but okay, I understand it. But I think I'm more of a slobby fit. I'm getting slobby fit. All right, let's keep it moving. I don't really like that term either. But, I do my 12, maybe even sometimes 13 push-ups. And it's near quality, too. Slow on the way down. And then sometimes on my tippy fingers. And then sometimes on my knuckles. And then sometimes flat at the end, flat hand. And it's near very few ROI, RIR, reps in reserve. Almost to like within 5 or so of failure, or even 3. It's like I'm trying pretty hard right there. Maybe if I got more sleep, I would have a lot more in reserve and stronger. Okay, let's get going though over here. There's one line open. I would like to get to your calls. Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, in honor of Charlie Kirk. In his memory. Mitt in Australia is on the line over here. Mitt, thank you for calling and holding there. Sir, how you doing?
Hey, I'll just take your speaker, mate. I wanted to speak about Charlie. It's a tragedy, mate.
Charlie Kirk
for his daughters.
Charlie Kirk of Turning Point USA fame and on-campus debater. He's very well known on the internet. And
Father
conservative
of
guy.
2 beautiful little girls.
Oh, no, he's his son and
You know?
daughter, man. Don't call his
Oh, it's
son
a
a girl.
son and daughter. I thought it was 2 girls. I thought it was 2 girls.
There's
It's
another.
my bad.
There's another Australian or somebody, or maybe I'm thinking of Cassidy Campbell. Somebody said he has a couple of daughters, but no, it's a son. It's a daughter and a son.
There you go. Either way, it's two kids that will never know their father till forever. It's not like he's ever coming back. You
Right.
know, they will know
Yeah.
his true legacy and what he's left behind. And,
Yep.
you know, that won't support him for forever. So I hope he's made his millions. But I want to talk about a couple of glitches I think, because I kept watching the footage and I was like, you know, to the point of I was like traumatized the amount of time I was watching it. But
Why did you watch it so much?
I don't know.
Were you
But
on
then,
mushrooms
like,
or something?
No. It was just, it happened at 6 a.m. in the morning. It happened at 5:55 a.m. in the morning for Australia. So literally my cat had just been making noise that the sun's coming up. I was just waking up, and literally just as I was on TikTok, someone said it happened, and they said, check on X what just happened. And I saw it on X, and it's all unfiltered. They give you the raw live,
Yeah, terrible.
know, it's like hectic. And then at first I didn't see the shadow on his T-shirt that like moves across his neck, and also his ring glitches from his third finger to his bottom finger if you watch it over and over again really closely as well, which makes, I don't know, I guess like the way he kinked his neck, and like, you know, he might have been holding his little finger in, you know, when you have that like retarded hand look, like your little finger goes under, maybe that made it look like the ring went to his bottom finger, but it looked like the ring switched fingers as well. And there's been some glitches that I've seen that it just, I don't know, I kind of can't explain it.
That's what happens when you watch something too closely and too long. If you look at a word long enough, it starts to look wrong. Watch. I don't know if I have a good example. I'm zooming in on my beach stream playlist. I don't know, certain words, even like the word the or about, or there was it just starts to look wrong. The simple words that you're used to seeing and recognizing immediately start to look wrong when you look at it too long. Same thing with...
Or if you say the word over and over again type of thing.
Yeah,
like,
so same thing is probably... That's what I surmise is what's going on with you watching this thing over and over again, like a crazy person.
Yeah, I know. It's probably shouldn't have watched it so many times. I know. I feel traumatized after seeing it, you know?
Of course.
And, you know, that Ukrainian girl was even worse. Like, I watched the aftermath of that. Like, you know, they focused on her after, like, not just the filtered version. I watched the whole thing after, like, she crumpled down and fell off the chair and there was just blood on the seat and that. Like, that was way too hectic to have to watch and to see that happen. And, like, from a person that, you know, has been arrested 14 times for probably violent offenses. I'm speculating, but probably violent offenders. But 14 times he's been arrested.
Yeah.
And, you know, people like that should be in mental asylums or jails with life sentences. There shouldn't be 14 chance rules. You know, not even we wouldn't even put up with that. If a black person did it, we'd deport them back to where they came. We're very multicultural in Australia, but we deport them back to where they came from.
Yeah.
Or we put them in jail for life. That's
right.
what would happen if you did that. Even to a Ukrainian, I don't care who it is to. Like, I love and hate Ukraine at the same time. You know, I'm very in between about that whole thing. I love Russia very much. They call them the motherland because they help with nuclear disarmament. They're the only ones that want nuclear disarmament on, you know, and they're helping with that on the planet. And you know, the nuclear situation, it's not a problem. It's just a situation that we're dealing with. And, you know, so I don't know. It's hectic. But yeah, R.I.P. Charlie. And I just have I'm going to keep listening. And I love you, Hank. Love from down under, and I'll let you get to other calls. I'm sure you want to speak to other people. My cat keeps coming up to me, rubbing against me. He's getting jealous. I'm speaking to you. So I'm going to keep watching you, Hank. I'm going to be up till 9 a.m. to get my meds in the morning. So, like, I just ringing to say lots of love, and send my love to Jesse too.
Okay, thank you, Mitt. Appreciate you, man. Take care.
Thanks, Hake, mate. Bye.
Bye. Wow. Kevin, a first-time caller in New York, is here on the line. What's up, Kevin? How you doing? Thanks for calling.
Hey, how are you? Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you sound very muffled. Can you come to regular phone or speak into the receiver? Or have the receiver
What
near
about
you?
now? Can you hear me?
That might be a little bit better. It sounded a touch muffled. I was talking. Go ahead.
Okay, so I want to talk about my friend. He's seeing transsexuals, and I want to know your opinion on it.
Your friend is seeing, as in dating, multiple transsexuals?
Oh, well, I know of one.
Okay, so your friend is dating transsexuals, like dating for like relationships and sex?
Right.
Man, okay, and you want to help him? Does he want your help?
Well, he's not a friend, but I want to try to help him, but I don't think it's possible. I think it's probably too late.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think and I don't think that you ever necessarily could have helped him, because people live in their own little world in their minds and in their behind closed doors and stuff. And you're not God. God is letting it happen, and you just got to let it happen. Maybe so he told you about this. He revealed this to you privately?
No, my other friend saw him with a transsexual holding hands.
Oh, you witnessed it?
Yeah, we witnessed it.
Oh. Oof.
And we were shocked when we saw it.
Of course, yeah. Well, man, just watch the temptation to judge him and be be like overly disgusted. Although
be vigilant, but don't judge him.
Yeah. Just you're not affected by it. Just wish him well within your mind, and you gotta let people go on the path that they are on, the wide road, I guess you would call it.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds like good advice. Oh, well, good show, by the way, Hake. I like your show. It's a good show.
Thank you, man. I appreciate your call.
Thank you. Have a good day, Hake.
You as well, man. Take care. Wow. Appreciate that call, Kevin in New York. With trans. Friend being with trans. Yeah, I remember, I can relate to that. I remember on the internet, some Christian guy, I was on a Christian board, and he told me something that he was getting into. And by the time they tell you, or by the time you see it, like he said, it's too late. And you couldn't help him anyway. You couldn't help him anyway. Unless you were the parent, and then you're like, oh, what did I do? How did I fail? And then parents oftentimes accept it and embrace it, especially mothers. But fathers fall for it too nowadays, so-called. What a mess. What a mess. And it's funny because the way that we Christians judge is very different from the way that God actually judges. Judge with righteous judgment. So often that happens. All right, let me go back to calls. David in Ocala, Florida is on the line here. David, thank you for calling, sir. How you doing?
Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a terrible thing that happened yesterday, man. I can't believe it.
I know, me neither.
You know? Well, I can believe it because remember we talked about that deja vu stuff?
Yes.
I was in the living room one night eating my dinner, watching Charlie, speak, and whatever he was talking about, I said to my wife, I said, man, he better be careful, man. I mean, he better be careful. They're going to put a target on that guy.
Oh, yeah.
And my wife even remembers me saying that.
Yeah.
Did you see the video?
I did. I saw 2 videos. I saw one in which it was kind of far away and you couldn't really tell where he was hit. At least I couldn't tell. I thought I saw like a ripple happen in his shirt, and he kind of, and so I thought that, oh, maybe it hit him somewhere in the chest, like center of mass. And so I was like, oh man, he might be gone. And then they said they got him in the neck, and I saw the one up close that Derek showed me. He was looking at it from a journalist viewpoint, and that, man, that's as brutal as any gory movie any man has ever wanted to see or not wanted to see.
Yeah, when somebody sent it to me, you know, it plays over and over. It's like a 5-second clip, and then it just repeats itself. Okay.
Yeah.
And first off, when I heard the shot, I knew that was a high-powered rifle.
I didn't listen. I didn't listen to the audio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm talking about when I was, watching it live, okay, or whatever, or when it first came on and they showed it. But you could tell, man, that was a real high-powered rifle. That wasn't the one that the kid that tried to. The difference in the sound between that rifle and the one the kid was using tried to kill Trump was way different.
Okay.
I mean, it's probably a 308, they call it, or a 30-06.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't said which one it is, but kids.
Could it have been a 7.62 or a 5.56? I don't know. I don't know. Man. I don't know my rounds that well.
It's a high-powered.
No, I mean, could it have been a 223?
I don't know that much about guns.
Me neither, but you're I think you're right, man, because I don't think it was a 22 because it just. I don't want to be too graphic, but the damage that it did was
well, he
serious
he
rifle
was
level.
Dead, but he was dead before he hit the ground, man. He didn't know what hit him. When that bullet hit him, it probably severed his spinal cord instantly. Okay, because of
crazy, man.
Yeah, and so them saying, he's in critical condition and all that kind of stuff later on. Nah, dude, he was gone by the time they got him in that car, and it's just.
Don't know.
I just want to know when the white people, okay, and when the people on the right are finally going to stand up and stop taking it. You know what I'm saying? When are people just going to finally put their foot down and put an end to this stuff?
And how, without being too calling for violence, what do you mean by that?
Well, they need to start carrying themselves in a different way, okay, and not be like y'all call beta, okay? You get what I'm saying? All right?
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
but...
it's like I can look at somebody,
yes,
and I can just give them this look, and if I have to, I go, hey, I'll do that,
okay,
and then that's when it's either going to go, we're going to get down, or they're going to stop whatever they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Anyway.
Yeah. Standing up to bullies type of a situation.
Right. Well, the white people in this country have sat back and let these people take over the universities, the schools, just everything. Now it's not so bad here in Florida, but man, I wouldn't want to live in like one of these blue cities or anything like that. You got me?
Yeah.
Or live where y'all live. I mean, my God, dude, if I had to live in L.A., I just go down to the auto parts store, get me some antifreeze, and drink it, and just go sit over on the side of a building and keel over.
I not only disclaim this, but I totally disavow it. There's never commit suicide.
I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying that's the state of mind I would be in if I had to live in L.A.
Oh. Yeah, well, you don't know, man. You would probably get used to it and take it in stride. I mean, look at the hell that you grew up in your home and neighborhood as a kid. You went through it and you handled it for better or worse.
Yeah, but I can't be around that many people and buildings and stuff like that, man. I get like claustrophobic and all that. Anyway, the one thing I wanted to say about 9/11, because that's another problem. I don't agree with their narrative on that at all. Okay, I think we might have talked about this before.
Oh.
I think the Pentagon is the key to the whole thing. No plane went into that Pentagon, man. There's no way. Absolutely.
I did see the Pentagon video. These videos of unusual incidents such as the landing on the moon and the walking around on it, and the Pentagon. I remember seeing it. It was like as if a missile went into it. Just because it looks odd and there's things that you critique that you think wouldn't be the way that you understand how physics work, doesn't mean that it's fake, though, man. You think it was a missile that hit the Pentagon?
Yeah. I don't think. Yeah,
Not
I
a
don't
plane?
think that was a plane. I don't think that was a plane because they got cameras all around that, and that's all that little blip they give you. You know, they wanted to go to war, man. They had been talking about how they needed a new Pearl Harbor. Okay.
Was Pearl Harbor also
America
sketchy in your mind?
They say it is now. I never thought about it as a kid until they started bringing it up that it was, a sketchy deal.
Right.
You know, but when you got you got the president sitting in a classroom full of kids. I mean, what a setup. Okay. He's in a classroom, and I'm telling you, I listened to the video. Unless they faked it, this teacher is having these kids repeat this: plane, must, hit, steal. So if that is not a doctored video, okay,
yeah,
all right, that's how brazen they are, okay? They just want, they don't care, bro. They don't care about you. That's the thing.
Nobody cares about you. That's true. That part is true, for sure.
Yeah, all you are to the United States government is taxes. That's all they care about is getting your money, getting into your pocketbook. That's all they care about.
Yeah. That is so true, man. I'm with you on that, totally.
Right. And I didn't realize this until
there's more than just money that they're into. Also ego, power, the notion which is ego, control freakishness. They're into sex like crazy. There's just the base evil human desires that that everybody falls for, but they just have more power, so they get away with more.
Yeah, I was at Walmart getting a couple of tires put on my car for the last 3 hours or 2 hours.
Yeah.
They didn't say that they found this shooter yet, have they? Because I just got home. I was on hold in the car.
I haven't been watching the news at all, so I don't know where the search stands. I overheard Derek, Jesse's black producer, mention that supposedly they found a rifle with a handprint on it, but I don't know what the case is at this point. The chat probably knows more than I do.
Yeah, like the dude's stupid enough not to wear gloves. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Before they said this, I had a feeling that that's a professional hit. So, I don't think that was just...
I scoffed when I first heard Bill, the engineer, mention that, either before or after Punchy TV. And but Jesse Lee thought the same thing as you, and Bill thought the same thing, Bill, the engineer, over at Punchy TV co-host. So, I don't know. It totally could be. Somebody in the Rumble chat was saying, I saw definitely that guy had a professional setup on the roof there. And they think that it was a shot from the roof. The authorities are thinking.
Yeah, the little 20-second clip of the guys talking about the guy being on the roof.
Yeah, I haven't watched anything. I kind of figure that they will tell us as the dust settles.
Yeah, they're going to tell us, all right. They might set us up he might be a patsy. Some patsy guy gets rung up over this Lee Harvey Oswald, okay? Give me a break. Lee Harvey Oswald.
But I believe it could have been Lee Harvey Oswald. That was another gory... That's the JFK one, right? That was another gory one.
No, dude. Somebody from that grassy knoll freaking took him out, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't buying that. Listen, the guy gets killed, is killed the next day, you know what I'm saying? Shot in the police department, right? Killed. Yeah, it's so bad, but hey, listen, I know you got to go, but I want to tell you one thing about the push-up thing, okay?
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about doing 12, 13 push-ups.
Yeah.
Arnold said Arnold would be upset with you, okay? Schwarzenegger would be upset with you.
And and I respect him in terms of working out type stuff, exercise.
Mm-hmm. You have to you have to take your muscles to the total extreme, he says, okay? So your muscles are just used to doing 12 and 13 push-ups.
Right.
And that's it, okay? Yeah, you need to pump it up to 20 and then 25. And then you need to, what you ought to do is don't, if I was you, I would get to where I do a max out, like as many as I could, whatever it is, 43, let's say, okay?
Uh-huh.
And then go and start doing 20, then go to 15 and blah, blah, blah. And then the next time, just do sets of like maybe 25. And then the next time after that, you go for a max out again. And that's how your muscles won't, build up that memory, okay?
Yeah.
And you'll get way more defined. And if you do it like that, before you know it, 25 push-ups will be like nothing to you. Okay?
Nice.
Yeah.
But what about the fact that I'm going very slowly on the way down to where I'm, which is difficult to do. It's like a good exercise for you to go very slowly on the way down.
Right.
And I'm doing them like quality all the way down, all the way up, and things of that nature. Does that help make it kind of like the equivalent of maybe like 15 or 20?
Maybe a little bit,
right?
But I mean, are you getting
maybe I should do both
out of it?
I should do.
I mean, can you tell a difference when you look at yourself in the mirror? Is anything changing? Okay, is your back getting defined? Your shoulders? You know what I'm saying?
I feel like
are you seeing?
I don't know. Maybe because I'm getting a little fatter, and so the fat on my muscles is making my muscles look bigger than they are. But I feel like I'm looking okay. Because I've gotten kind of slobby in the past. I've gotten very skinny in the past, and I've gotten more defined in the distant past. And so right now I feel like I'm doing overall kind of the right thing. At least I'm doing them, and almost multiple times a week, more often than not, like 5-6 times a week.
Oh, really?
So I'm doing like. So and sometimes I even do like multiple sets on occasion, which is something that I want to like grow towards. And I'm not I'm definitely not disregarding your advice and Arnold's advice. Yeah. Right now I'm listening to guys like Mike O'Hearn, who was on The Fallen State. and Mike Israetel, my based Jew friend. He doesn't know I'm his friend. But he talks about slow on the eccentric, which is on the way down.
Well, listen, so anyway. I promise you this, okay?
Yeah.
If you go max, the next time that you're going to do push-ups, just warm up, do like 3 or 4, do like 5, okay? Get yourself loosened up, 5, 6, 7 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then just go for it, okay? And do as many as you can until you just, fall down, okay?
Yeah.
And then let your body recoup and then tell me the difference between the next time, you go doing 15 push-ups, the difference, how it feels, how much more stronger you are, okay?
That's a good suggestion. It's kind of like jogging versus running.
Yeah, it's going to lean you out, too, dude, if you'll do it like that.
Yeah.
You're going to notice. You're going to notice, man, because you pressed your body to the extreme, okay? You get what I'm saying? When you go all the way to the max.
On Punchy TV a few months ago, maybe several months ago now, we showed this black guy who's all like fit and cut up and maybe on something. He did partials, and he was going to do try to do 200 or something like that. And there are value in prison type push-ups, I say prison meaning like partials, where you're constant, you're never at rest on the way up. You know how you can lock out on the way up? You're never at rest, and so you just define the muscle. So I respect that too, for sure.
Yeah, right. All right, well, listen, man, have a great day, and thanks for taking my call. And I just hope nothing like this ever happens again, man. I mean, that is just brutal. Well, you know what they're going to do now is these universities and colleges are going to say, hey, we can't take the liability to let these people come speak at our schools no more.
That's a fair point, man. It's kind of a setup to make excuses to shut down the freedom of speech. Totally. Yeah.
And I can understand it. I mean, there's a lot of liability in that.
Yeah.
And the people are crazy. So anyway, well, listen, man, God bless you. Have a great day, and thanks for taking my call.
All right, man. Thank you. Take care.
All right, later on. All right, bye.
Bye. Jermaine in Canada on the line here. What's up, Jermaine? Are you there? Jermaine, come off of
Hello?
mute. Hey, what's up, man?
Boomer. Hey, how are you?
Doing fine, man. How about you?
Nice, doing nice like rice. Yeah, RIP to Charlie Kirk, man. That was a knockout. What the?
Yeah, that was a definite shock, and
Yeah.
it was somebody said devastating but not surprising, and I agree. It was devastating but not very surprising. Terrible.
Yeah, the internet on both sides is going crazy, so it's just interesting to see, I guess.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. My question for you: what is it like, before you work for Jesse and now working for Jesse, between, with working for people that they're evil and working for Jesse? What would be like the difference, you would say?
Well, I'll tell you, it's nice to work for a company that's actually like working and that you believe in and not failing. So that's good, because the prior business was just sinking down, and that's not the case with Bond, and certainly not with Jesse Lee. So that's really nice. It's I appreciate it. But you kind of get used to it, so you're just at work and not really kind of taking everything for granted. So that's what it's like.
Nah, that must be nice. Yeah. The reason I ask is because you can still work for a company and believing in them, but it's kind of weird because, I mean, if you're not aware, let's say someone is not aware but they believe in the company, the people that they're working with are evil, so they try to put you down even though you believe in the company, so it's kind of a weird situation. And with someone,
go ahead. Go ahead. You made me think of something. I can wait though.
And then someone that's awake, and you're working for evil people, and you're aware of that because, I mean, you have to feed yourself and pay your bills, right? But you will still treat them well, but they're so judgmental and evil. It's crazy. It's kind of hard to be around them, but it's not that you're judging them that it's hard to be around them. It's just like the evil is just, they're trying to drag that evil out of you so you can defend it or protect the self that is hurt. So I don't know, man. It's just interesting to see.
Yeah.
It
is. I in South Korea, there's some South Koreans mad that I heard on Hake News. I was reading this morning on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, and let's see if I can pull it up. If we mosey on over to thehakereport.com. I was Trump deported a bunch of illegals, and I have not updated my notes yet on my website on thehakereport.com. But they're mad. Some Koreans are mad because we deported a bunch of Hyundai workers who were illegally here from South Korea. And South Korea pledged to, they're frustrated and they're having an outcry widespread across South Korea. They're a long-standing U.S. ally that earlier this year they pledged to invest hundreds of billions of dollars into the American economy, and that's nice, right? But they're illegals working at the Hyundai battery plant in Georgia. It's a quiet town, 25 miles southwest of Savannah. ICE did a raid and detained, and I think today deported them, or is deporting them back to South Korea. Why are they having an outcry? They did wrong. It's like, I remember I got in trouble with Jesse one time. I did something wrong. And I'm like, but I work so much for bond. But that's not the point. I did wrong, you know? So
Yeah.
that reminded me of the South Korea situation. They're acting like just because the pretense, what I'm gathering is what they think that since they're investing into our economy that we should give amnesty to the illegals who are illegally here. No, we do right. We do what's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's why you gotta stay circumspect. I was walking. I was on a little walk after Punchy TV, kind of late in the early evening, late afternoon, yesterday, and it was kind of rush hour. I was walking up La Cienega, and at Olympic, there was this guy who was turning left in a big truck. He was waiting to turn left. The car in front of him wasn't creeping out enough, so he kind of honked at the car. And this guy apparently was getting frustrated because the light turned yellow and then probably red, and all these oncoming traffic cars, including a motorcycle, was still coming. So this motorcycle is the last to cross his path before he can turn left. And the guy has his driver's side window open, and he said, "Forget you." Well, he didn't say forget. He cussed at the guy, the motorcyclist. And he's just mad. And I realize what Jesse means by angry people are unconscious. Because if you're circumspect, you're conscious, you're not going to get mad at that because a conscious person knows that that's no big deal. That you're just waiting a little bit longer. It's not like he was causing an accident. It was just somebody who was pushing it, which is what LA people do. They push the red light. So anyway.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
In fact, I prefer
right.
when people push the red light. I like when 3 cars at least can go when the light turns yellow and red. Turn left. You know?
Oh, nice.
At least 3.
Yeah, it is true because it's that you're so lost that you're not realizing that because we're taught to identify with feelings and we don't see the thought before the feeling, so the anger just comes up and you're like, oh, I'm angry, so you just try to justify it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
What a mess.
There was a thing I wanted to say, but now I forgot.
I know. I talked my head off.
Yeah. I was saying, like, how Jesse would say, like, I just came and then it went. He said, when people talk with each other, it's just to talk about themselves. And
when they try to bash you or criticize you or attack you verbally, they're really talking about themselves.
Yeah, so they will talk, but then when they talk, they're just telling you about themselves, and even though they're not realizing that they're telling you about themselves and like, oh, this happened to me, I'm doing this tomorrow, I'm traveling. When you're doing that, especially at work, you're giving it's your enemy, obviously. For real, it's your enemy not because you work with them, they're friends, but you give them that ammo and then they judge you and then later on they use it against you. It's kind of funny to see, man. It's so evil. It's interesting to see.
It is. It's predictable, too.
I see it happen at work all the time. I'm like,
nice.
That's why I kind of just keep to myself, and and that's just it.
Yeah, I've seen that happen with girlfriends, girls that I've dated, gals that I've dated. They will criticize me on something over the decades. You don't even know which girl I'm talking about, right? And they're coming up with something that was in them. It was in their mind. Or something that they actually were doing. And it wasn't me at all. Sometimes they're right about you. Sometimes they're right about you. But they're not looking at themselves. And I realize very oftentimes in many deep ways, they're talking about themselves. There was a guy, J.B. Pritzker. We played it on Punchy TV yesterday. J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, talked about this Charlie Kirk assassination, right? And he said, I won't call it an assassination. I think he did. I think he said something like that because I don't know the motive. But he said, this is from the president. He's been his rhetoric has been pushing this division and violence. And January 6th was violence and division. It was a uptick in the country. It's like he didn't even realize, and Bill, the engineer, said he's talking about himself. It's like he didn't see Black Lives Matter, Antifa, the leftist terror attack on the congressional baseball game in 2017, again from that Rachel Maddow listening guy. Not that Rachel Maddow's responsible, but because if it was an anti-Trump guy for Trump's first term, the left has always been more violent because they're more openly encouraging of anger, and they're the kind of the party of crime. They support crime, criminals.
Yeah, the left is all about feelings, and that's the issue.
Right.
But
and the right, right is too, but the right has more of like a manly weakness of very on rare occasion will lash out, and then it's bad and evil. But yeah, totally.
But you brought up a great point when you were saying they were telling things about you, but that's the thing, right? They were judging and trying to find weakness. It's such a woman mentality because they wanted to use it against you at the end of the day, especially when you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Totally.
All right, man. It was good chatting with you.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
All right. Have a good show, Hake.
You as well. I mean, you have a good day.
All right, bye.
Bye. Oh, by the way, wait, Jermaine, are you there?
Yeah.
How many push-ups do you do?
Push-ups in one go? I can probably go 45 to 50 in one go.
Right on.
Yeah.
And then when you exercise, you don't tend to do push-ups, you just bench and lift and stuff?
Well, now it's more like kind of a flexibility kind of workout type of set because I realize, well, the older I get, you're in the gym, you're using the machine. It's a mechanical movement. Mm-hmm. It's kind of rigid.
Right.
You need more flexibility because if you work out that way your entire life, some joints or some things in your body, they're not going to get worked out. And it's going to leave like kinks in you to figure out later on down the line.
Yeah.
So you want to mix it up. You want to do like go to the park where they have those regular pull-up bars and rope climbing to work the other small groups of muscle.
Nice. Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've a lot of my exercise time, depending on how how my body is feeling, will be spent. I'll spend it stretching, or like say I'm doing a squat. I do squats with no weights because I don't have weights, which I don't want.
Yeah.
And so I just like go slow and go like as far down as I can. Sometimes like all the way down. And you know how they call it butt wink? Sorry, kids, ladies. But you know how you're supposed to keep like your back straight, but at the end, like if you're not flexible, your back kind of goes in. Say this is my back, and this is my rear. It goes in like that because it's just not flexible. But anyway, I try to do all the way down, all the way up, and stuff like that. But yeah, longevity is nice. Longevity type of exercises and flexibility. That's cool.
I think it's even better not to work out with machines because the machine is just to put weight on. It kind of tears the muscle apart, so when you eat it, builds it up.
Uh-huh.
But that's just for putting on muscle. But if you want to have longevity, I think more calisthenics exercise is better.
Okay.
I think that's better.
A lot of
people, but you can
mix
it up. I don't see why not mix it up.
Yeah, I think it's good to have an open mind with regard to this stuff, like you seem to have, because a lot of people have told me or mentioned in chat that lifting weights fixed their back right away. They had back problem, painful back, and they just got stronger, and now the back doesn't hurt.
Yeah,
kind of interesting.
it would definitely build muscles around the weak areas. That's what it does. Yeah, make it stronger. Yeah.
Right on, man. Thank you,
Nice.
sir.
All right, Hank. We'll chat. Bye.
Take care. We're approaching the top of the hour, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I have one more hour to go before American Anchor Baby takes over for his show. Oh, why did I refresh that? What a boomer. Let me read some super chats before I get back to your calls. If you don't mind, or even if you do. Oh, man, what did I do? Okay. Complicated business over here. Lord have mercy. Okay. Greggatron bought our coffee. I think this is the one that I didn't read. I did, at the beginning of yesterday's show, I did cover the prior day's super chats, and I addressed them pretty well, Popcorn and others, at the beginning of the show. Greggatron referring to yesterday's show. He might have bought it during yesterday's show. Tell Dylan Burns, that's my guest yesterday, who hosted me on the Hippy Dippy Roundtable multiple times. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The purpose of the National Guard in these cities is to free up the cops, and allow them to go into the crime-ridden areas, not the National Guards to go directly into those high crime areas. The Guard is supposed to deter criminal behavior. Oh, thank you, Greggatron. I hadn't really thought of that. I wasn't really... thank you, man. As far as the single mother thing, they do need to be defunded because they'll think twice before they make these babies. Yeah, or they'll just work and be responsible with their spending rather than spending it on self, like many of these gals do. And they'll make sure that their kids can get like an apple and some oatmeal, or a banana or an apple and some oatmeal, and have a satiated body so that their kids can be focusing in school without being hungry. And then we don't need, so let's not enable them with these free school lunches, so-called free, because that is mama. You're playing mama. You're replacing mama with the mama government. They say, though, the government is the daddy because the mothers rely on the government instead of the man. Such evil. But really, the government is mama. It's not even really a father. Where's the pushback, Hake? I pushed back. Greggatron, I pushed back against Dylan a little bit. Terrible. I appreciate and accept the criticism and questions and stuff. There was this one interview that Jesse did early on in my producer days, and he didn't push back on this lady, and we don't know why. He doesn't even know why. Anyway, Popcorn. Thank you, Greggatron. Popcorn's Thump Keg. 2 questions that don't necessarily have a right answer, just something to get your thoughts on. First question, when you wake up in the morning and comb or brush or style your hair before you leave your home, are you doing that for yourself, ego, or for others, vanity? Interesting. Lastly, the Great White Hope said in response to the death of Charlie Kirk that the Great White Hope Trump, I'm full of anger and grief. Quote unquote, full of anger and grief. I plan to ask Jesse about this one too. But in your estimation, what causes anger and grief? Jesse told a caller today, the things that happen don't cause you to become angry. They just bring out what's already inside of you. Is the Great White Hope wrong for having anger, or is anger justified? What happened to Charlie Kirk was horrible. So I would think being angry is understandable, but I know the Bond message does not agree with that. That would make him a murderer. Is he wrong for being angry, and where do you think that anger comes from? Asks Popcorn's Thump Keg. Only God and maybe our greatest president, Donald J. Trump, know the nature of the anger and grief that to which he refers. All right, so don't just hang on to the word anger, because the word anger, say I would call myself angry, or JLP calls himself angry, or Jesus was called in the Bible angry, or let's pretend Jesus himself said he's angry. Don't just say, oh, that's the spirit of anger. That's the spirit of the devil, according to Jesse. So just don't get, that's what Jesse means by don't get hung up on words, okay? Because the word anger is different from the spirit anger. So I don't know I have never seen Trump have like a nasty or emotional spirit of anger that I could tell. I've seen him look frustrated. I saw him look frustrated one time. It was after when he was where he didn't push back. Like Hake didn't push back enough, maybe. I don't know. On Dylan Burns, Trump looked frustrated. Like I remember he put, at the end of like the second Hillary debate, he didn't push back enough against her. And he was frustrated probably because he listened to his handlers or something, his people who tell him, don't go too hard on her, you look like a woman hater, something dumb like that, right? But anyway, that would not necessarily make him a murderer just for saying he has anger, because he could be speaking consciously about it, meaning that he's not getting into this anger stuff. Nice. But yeah, you can definitely, yeah, but the anger and grief, it can be triggered, if you will, or brought out by these horrible incidents, right? You mentioned what happened to Charlie was horrible. And people go crazy. But I don't see Trump going crazy. I see him speaking very sanely. He had a great response. truthsocial.com/ that might not be the one. Oh yeah, the Hake Report. I'll just play this a little bit.
With grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever. To share.
Nice. Thank you, Trump. And you can watch the whole thing if you go to the James Anton Hake on Truth Social. I retruthed his truth on that. I'm an expert in journalist, Hake News. For Jesse Lee Peterson, I'm also church producer, host of the Hake Report, co-host of Punchy TV. Truthsocial.com/ oh yeah, I can't zoom in at that. The Hake Report. Here, let me just paste it into the YouTube chat. All right? Wouldn't that be amusing? If we mosey on over to the YouTube video here, and I shall paste my Truth Social link, and then you'll know how much of a delay there is between what I pasted and what is there. Fun. Okay, so anyway, right on, Trump. So back to popcorn. Yeah, nice. Yeah, Trump, JLP had a nice thing about anger and stuff like that. Catch Jesse Lee Peterson's YouTube video. Very nice. Trump, later on in that talk, I won't play it because for the sake of you guys waiting on hold. he talked about how the radical left, the media and others, have been smearing Trump and his supporters. He may not have said it in those words, as like Nazis and stuff. And you know, the left, if you will, justify the taking out of Nazis. So, and there's been all kinds of leftist terrorism, okay, and that's just a fact. It's kind of like, yes, nobody should be angry, right? Nobody should be violent, and multiple people have, right? There's been right-wing stuff, but the left is, with the left, if you will, it's out of control. It's kind of like talking about the black violence. Yeah, no violence is good, but the black violence and anger is out of control. It's like uniquely out of control. The crime and violence and anger, it really has a hold of them. And if we don't watch out, it'll get a hold of us too. Which it already is. Nice. So anyway, it's worth pointing out them specifically. So when I style my hair, I used to not do anything. I used to just let my hair, right after high school, I just started letting my hair be more like messy. I used to either comb it backwards or forwards and then part it and then the wave. But I call it a wave. Somebody else calls it something else, something in French. Ugh. But and now I just wet it, push it forward, push it to this kind of to the side, and then fingers, and then just go like that, and then I'm done. Takes like a minute. And I started doing that around the time I started my show, started the Hake Report, maybe a little after. And I did it just for presentability, vanity. You call it vanity, and a bit of ego too, because it's not what it was. Even just over the course of a year, rough living can do a number. I used to think, Popcorn, that just the feeling of stress was bad for you and it caused your hair to fall out, people say. But actually, it's not the feeling of stress, I don't think, as much as the reaction to the stress, which stresses your body. So, stress is upon your body. Many kinds of stresses upon your body that you put it through. And it's mostly with, like, taking comfort in things. Like, all kinds of different things. I had a theory that it was the monsters and rock stars. Anyway, so all kinds of stresses that you can put upon your body. People do alcohol, people do caffeine, people do too much food, you get fat, that's a stress upon your body, I think. People don't get enough sleep, that's a huge one, I think. And on and on and on it goes. Those are the actual stresses upon your body. It's not the feeling of stress. If you have the feeling of stress and bear up under it and don't relieve it, then you'll overcome it, I think. That's my theory. Thank you, Popcorn. Anyway, why am I scrolling there? One more coffee here from Cesar. 3 coffees. Sup, hey? Couple random points for you today. It's always worth you not getting to your supers because of the great hate episode is on. Fantastic show yesterday, man. Those hate callers got you toward the end and were funny. You got toward the end, were funny. But seriously, though, emotional males are really annoying at the same time. Yeah. It's kind of like women or gays or whatever. They're kind of like begging you to judge them. They want you to judge them, and then they got you. Even though they got themselves. You played yourself. Wishing the Kirk family well. He didn't deserve to go out like that, says Cesar. Missed the first 38 minutes of your show because a coworker wanted to treat another coworker out, and me out for lunch today. I'm on the East Coast, so your show starts at noon for me. Yeah, I can do 40 push-ups in one go these days, but I'd really be pushing myself toward the last 5. Yeah, I used to do 35. I used to do like 70, maybe even sometimes 80, and it would be pretty much all the way down, but it would be a fast all the way down, where you kind of just let yourself go. And I would do like That was when I was like in high school and college, early college. That's all. Be safe, everybody. Tanned, light skin, black or black Hispanic. Thanks hands and celebration hands emoji. Thank you, Cesar or Cesar. And I forget if I read this one from Cesar. Oh yeah, he said with 3 coffees. Sup, Hake? This was, I think I missed this one. Man, I don't know what I was talking about the other day when I said your show, I like your show only because of your interactions with the viewers. I actually really enjoyed you presenting those stories yesterday, meaning 2 days ago, I think. Before this show, before Dylan Burns. Which was Tuesday's show, I guess. And I did have some good stories, I thought. I especially love your personalized ad-libs, laughing faces with tears. I guess I just never appreciated it until now. Thanks, man. In a nutshell is what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is you have an awesome show and I've been underestimating it. My bad. Till next time, everyone. P.S. That was a great call from David, with David from Ocala yesterday, meaning Tuesday, I think. And an evil call with Sweetie. Yeah, Sweetie. Oh, yeah, we were talking about the girl on the train, I guess, who was stabbed. And Sweetie's like, the girl sat down in front of the black because she wanted to get with the black, the Ukrainian girl. What's wrong with these females from California? Belle from San Diego and JLP these days. SMH. Shout out, Sweetie. These dirty girls. Dirty, dirty girls. It was really great show, man, he says. Nice. I got out of hand with Dylan Burns and a couple of his fans calling. Nice. Right on. What did I cover? If I mosey on over to the Hake Report, what did I cover 2 days ago? We got to criticize victims. Fake Trump Epstein drama, I mentioned that. Woman left her boyfriend for another. Ooh. Boy cries at the new dirt bike, the emotional boy. Ukrainian refugee victim criticism. Oh, and Jean Carroll is vulgar. And yes, please, we need a crime crackdown. That was Tuesday the 9th. Nice. Yeah, and Dylan Burns, I envy Dylan Burns callers who call into my show. I envy Dylan Burns because he has those fiery callers who hate me. I want fiery callers who hate me. But shout out, I love and appreciate you, you guys who love and appreciate Hake. Nice. All right, so let's get back to the calls. There might be other super chats. I'll have to check for them a little later. Brandy in Hawaii on the line here. Brandy, thank you for calling and holding. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
I mean, as good as you can get, I guess, right?
No woman is good. I let that slide.
Yeah. I saw that you didn't catch it. My question was, do you think that this may be a distraction for something bigger?
Anytime anything happens that drives you to distraction and takes you away from the present moment, distracts you from what's really important is you where you are right now with God. Okay, so I'm speaking spiritually. You were talking about some like a conspiracy type of a situation where they kill Charlie,
like
and then meanwhile I think that I don't think that it was done to do that, but I think that a lot of times when something like this happens, people may scurry and take advantage of the situation and sneak and do stuff unnoticed. Definitely.
Yeah. Just thought I'd throw that out there. I was thinking about it. It sounds like it could be a distraction to get our minds on Charlie.
You know, my friend, I had a Mexican friend who is not illegal, I don't think, who warned me that anytime you see a fight break out on the field, on the soccer field, because Mexicans sometimes get into fights occasionally, look around you, be alert, because somebody else may be ready to hit you, because although it doesn't have anything to do with you or your opponent who's immediately next to you, they may join opposing team rather than team right versus wrong. So keep your wits about you, because the devil's definitely going to use it. If human beings aren't aren't necessarily consciously using it to distract you, other people will. I mean, just the life will. You'll like some people. I bet you, they saw what happened to Charlie and they went to smoking or to drinking or to eating too much or into their minds.
Yeah, all their vices.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
And it's like a dark day. Everybody's depressed.
They got all into their emotions.
Everybody's feeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking that yesterday.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah, they want us to be in fear and emotional right now. They're using that to control us.
Yeah.
And I just saw Ben Shapiro canceled his college event.
Yeah,
so
it was supposed to happen yesterday evening. Yeah, I don't know who made the decision to cancel it, but they did it probably partly for security reasons and to reassess their security, because it occurred to me that it could be like a planned out thing, maybe. You know, I got into my head a little,
I think it is.
Where they him and then they do another guy pretty soon and then they do another, and it's like deflating or demoralizing.
It happened so smooth. It does seem like it was plotted. So
yeah, I mean, somebody definitely
one
planned
shot,
that out.
like most people, it seems like most of them have been like crappy shooters.
Right.
You know, like Trump and like all of them been crappy shooters, but this one got it at the first time.
Yeah.
I don't know. So
Good
I agree
point.
with everybody else on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to, say maybe we should be aware of our surroundings and not just keep our eyes only on Charlie.
Yeah.
Because I think that maybe they might be plotting and we need to be aware so we can prevent it.
Yeah.
Catch it beforehand.
And it's not just that, but also just regular stuff in your life. You don't want to neglect yourself.
Yeah, because I feel like I think everybody did that yesterday. Everybody was just into their phone and neglecting everything around them.
I was on my walk yesterday and I was quite distracted. I kept on thinking about the image that I saw that Derek showed me. With my permission, I let him show it to me. And the close up, and you know, just the situation, and so definitely it is a distracting / temptation thing. So
that's how trauma happens, is seeing stuff like that, right?
Yeah, and getting into it,
being in a car accident and seeing people like your loved ones all messed up.
Yeah,
it jacks you up in the head. It's like the same. At least you're seeing it from a distance. Those people right on it are even more traumatized.
Yeah. Right on, Brandy.
Anyway,
I appreciate it.
I'll let you go.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Alex in Tennessee is on the line. Texas, not Tennessee. Sorry. Thanks, Derek.
What's up, Jake?
Hey, man.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Hey, BRANDI, good job on. She's just like, sometimes she's in her thoughts or whatever, but she sounds pretty present on the Charlie News stuff, like the Charlie Kirk stuff.
That's right, man. Totally. Shout out. Beautiful BRANDI.
Shout out. Are you interested in peddling conspiracies?
Not personally, but I welcome yours if you can keep it succinct. If you have one.
Yeah.
To share.
I think there's reasons they killed Charlie Kirk.
All right.
And
I'm not going to ask who's they, because I disavow and disclaim such questions. Go ahead.
Because you know who they are.
I mean, when you tell me that, then you're making me think the Jews. Shout out. But I heard from the chat that Trump pledged allegiance to Israel. Well, maybe if he pledged allegiance to Israel, then the anti-Israel Jews would want him out. Anyway, go ahead.
Let me peddle.
Shout out.
So, shout out. So Kirk, he was a white nationalist. We agree on that. Like, I think everybody, the left and right, everybody saw him as a white nationalist.
No, they didn't. But some people did, yes. Okay, yes. Let's go with that.
I mean, is he or isn't he?
I don't think so. I think he was a civic nationalist. I think he was a cringy rhino civic nationalist who sometimes spoke like a white nationalist when it was time to rile up the base, because there's a lot of based people who realize that Charlie Kirk is hit and miss and he's controlled opposition or something. I don't know, whatever. But anyway, yeah. So he sees the race thing for what it is as phony, and the blacks are kind of kissed up too.
Right. And was he also like a America First kind of guy?
No, I mean the America First people, the Groypers, they really did not.
Right.
They went after Charlie Kirk,
right?
Because he was not very Christian. Even though he was a Christian, he was like promoting this gay black guy several years ago.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk has been a staunch pro-Israel person for the past, since his uprising. He's completely, he's been an Israel alliance kind of guy the whole time.
He's been like a normal, sort of rhino, sort of conservative, sort of mainstream, what you expect from somebody in the mainstream. A safe conservative, if you will.
I think he was starting to get JQ'd.
Oh.
And I think that's why they killed him. Because as soon as you start focusing on the unification of America, like the left and the right, which is what nationalism does, properly, like the definition of nationalism, we could say.
Left and right unite for the country?
Right, the left and right unite for the country. If Kirk was a real nationalist, and he started to think like a real nationalist, he's going to get isolationist and start focusing on that message of unification. And I think the Americans, we've already, like most of us Americans, we've unified against foreign wars or supporting countries that are fighting primitive style wars based on theology.
Oh, okay. So don't, like the Christians falling for the pro-Israel thing because they're God's chosen people and stuff like that.
I think Kirk, if he started to, like, that's where I'm peddling conspiracy, is Kirk might have started to, like,
and so
ask himself.
So this is all your speculation, of course, correct?
Yeah, I'm peddling conspiracy. This is all satire. I'm joking.
No. I don't. No, I want to know what you really think. I'm just saying this is your opinion.
Yeah, but the views I express are not representative.
No. Okay. Yeah. I got you. But you have no. You have no information to prove that. What did he said about Israel that was making him, or Jewish people that made you think he was becoming?
I had heard that he was starting to platform more true nationalists who were also racial.
Okay. You know what? I think that there has been a movement toward that. The so-called Overton window, the range of acceptable speech has really either widened or shifted to where you're seeing guys like Nicholas J. Fuentes, platformed, if you will, and he's showing up on YouTube videos. People are interviewing him, and they're kind of normal, upstanding people. And he's when you talk to him or when you see him talk, he's actually quite normal and upstanding. But he's so banned and taboo, and some of the things that he says were very taboo. They're less so now, but it's kind of out of control. I definitely don't necessarily agree with you that the pro-Israel people or the pro-Jew people or the Jews were behind Charlie Kirk's thing, but I don't know.
I think he's the perfect martyr type person to kill, because you kill him, and then the right people, the right wing, they're going to be too busy fighting the left wing now instead of making a common enemy. He's the perfect person to kill, to like perpetuate divisive rhetoric instead of unification.
Oh, okay.
You know,
interesting. As
they
opposed
Charlie
to somebody.
Kirk,
Well, you know what? As opposed to somebody
as
like Nick
opposed to-
Fuentes.
Nick Fuentes, like, what do you mean?
If they did in Nick Fuentes, like the normal conservatives would be like, that's terrible. You're not supposed to do that. But the normal conservatives wouldn't start blaming the liberals necessarily. I mean, they would, but it's not like Nick Fuentes.
I don't think Nick Fuentes has the scope that he gets on the internet. Like, people who follow internet news, like, we're kind of aware that Nick Fuentes is
huge,
has a decent amount of truth.
Yeah, but Charlie Kirk is much more of a household name among the normies, you're saying.
Yeah, dude, my dad knows who Charlie Kirk is, and
Right.
he's a boomer. Like, my dad's like a straight up boomer.
Yeah.
And he's shown me videos of Charlie Kirk. He's like, look at this guy. He's talking about America and stuff like that. You know, conservatives.
No, that's true. He has like millions of people on many of his platforms, or did. I mean, he still does, even though he's gone now. That's true. You know, it's kind of like anybody who's very successful in getting a lot of people has a target. Alex Jones, huge following. They targeted him and took him down. You know, took him down a notch anyway.
Like,
we could
Alex
call it.
Jones is,
No, but
Alex
let me
Jones
finish.
has it right.
Let me finish. Bill O'Reilly, he was #1 on Fox News, and that was like the top of the pile, if you will. And he was #1 for many years, and they took him down with the fake Me Too thing. They go after anybody who's, you could call them normies, you could call them controlled opposition or whatever, but they were effective in putting up a little bit of a fight of moderates, centrists, normies, rhinos, if you will, and conservatives. And that was a big problem for the left, if you will. I'm putting up the left-right thing. I know you're going against that. But the evil, the people on the side of evil, and versus him kind of presenting on the side of good, Bill O'Reilly, Alex Jones, Charlie Kirk, and Donald Trump, presenting on the side of good, they're going to go after them just because they're big targets. Because they're Rush Limbaugh. They took him down a notch. Not because they're the most based, but because they have the big base. You know what I mean?
You're right. Yeah. Alex Jones is the most based.
I said because they have a big base of supporters, followers, influence. They're not that based. They're all right. I like them. Maybe they're based secretly.
Alex, you're right. Alex Jones is based. I'm with you.
All right, man. He's my competitor, so I gotta go. Nice talking with you, man. Thank you for peddling your conspiracy.
Wait. Let me just mention. Your back is probably posterior related, and you probably need to, practice
good posture.
Yeah, good posture, man.
Right on, man. Thank you for the feedback.
Yeah, good luck, Hake.
Appreciate it. Good luck to you, Alex, in Texas, Tejas.
See you, dog.
All right, man. Nice. And Mr. Pink in California. What's up, Mr. Pink? Give it to us. Oh, Mr. Pink, are you there? I'm hearing some gal. Are you trolling me? It's not like Mr. Pink to troll us. Or is there somebody pretending to be Mr. Pink? Let me put him on hold. I don't know if he's there and ready. Check on Mr. Pink, would you, out there, Derek? Or somebody? Do Qigong, Hake. Qigong, says him, diddy. I heard of Qigong from a couple of people. Both of them white, incidentally. At least white looking. Qigong is like a powerful, slow moves. It's like Tai Chi, but manlier looking. Something like that. I don't know. Not even. Whatever. Make sure you guys catch American Anchor Baby. I'm pretty sure I scheduled set the redirect to go to him. He will be live shortly, everybody. Let me peruse you guys' chat. Thank you, Dolphin Spirit 22. Groiper criticism might have gotten to him. The Jewish people have completely lost the youth. Imagine if Charlie Kirk turned on the Jews openly. They could not have that, says Age of Inversion. I would just say stay out of your imagination. Leave it as an I don't know. One of the good things that I learned from JLP as well as Bill O'Reilly, it's a great practice. Don't speculate. Even though I have speculated here, but don't speculate. Nice. Shout out. And he's right. It's not just left versus right. Although it is a little bit. Because the left is more pro-evil. And the right is mostly a pretense of pro-good, honestly. The left pretends to be for good, too, honestly. But they're openly anti-God. Neo, but it is good versus evil. So, and it happens in you. Neo gifted the shades and rated the stream, I think. On pilled.net. Prayers for Charlies and 9/11 victims, family, or families, to be filled with the Holy Spirit's comfort, the Comforter. Things are so sad today. But what the enemy uses for evil, God will use for good. Somehow, he is faithful to his promises. Yeah, all things work together for good for those who love him, called according to his purpose. And come on, man, rightly and exactly quotes Hake, we do not condone noticing. I completely disavow ever noticing anything. We don't notice here. Noticing is a demonic and anti-Semitic, all one word, no hyphen, dog whistle. In fact, it's a bullhorn. Don't use the word noticing. Don't notice anything except in yourself. Nice. I talk about Jewish people all the time. You guys just don't notice. You don't notice. Shout out. Is Pink ready? Let me check. Let me check on Mr. Pink, see if he's here. Thanks, Neo. Appreciate that. Mr. Pink, are you there?
Hey, my bad, dude.
No worries, man.
You there?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Hey. Yeah, totally. Sorry about that, man.
No problem.
I was getting the chick's number. My bad, bro.
Oh, right on. What a Chad.
Seriously, just at that moment. I'm just here at work, and I hadn't seen this girl in a while, so I was like, oh, hey, it's you.
Right on.
You know what I mean? So, but anyway, I was just on this call.
Ladies
just gonna
first.
make it quick.
Sorry.
Yeah. There was some updates that I just wanted to call in real quick about because I was looking over Drudge and other people, and apparently the FBI has released some information about the psycho that did this yesterday.
All right.
Apparently they have released a photo of the person of interest.
Oh.
And it looks like a skinny little, beta type.
Yeah.
From what I can see in the picture. And then apparently
college age, huh?
Yeah, it looks to be that way. Early 20s. Sunglasses there. There were sunglasses on in the picture, but it just looks to be like that type. And apparently on they found a hunting rifle like wrapped in a cloth like nearby, and the ammunition had trans and anti-fascist engravings on the bullets.
Wow. And so, and this is released by, so this is I'm looking at FBI Director Kash, K-A-S-H, Patel, who yesterday he claimed that he had a subject in custody, but that subject was interviewed and released And
actually,
also,
there were 2 that have been interviewed and released.
And also that boomer was totally innocent, we're pretty sure, right?
Yeah, he was just some psycho, like old homeless guy apparently that was known in the area.
He didn't even look bad.
Yeah.
I had surmised that he might be a Second Amendment boomer who was just happened to be armed, so they were like, oh, this guy with a gun. Because if you were armed and you heard gunfire, you would draw your weapon, maybe, and then they would look at you, but you're innocent. So anyway, that was total speculation. So
of course, and I mean, this
they
is
have
all
not caught
speculation
the guy.
too. Of course,
Sorry.
No, but and it's unconfirmed whether or not the that was the gun that did it. We don't know that for sure either.
Yeah, this person.
But they have released this information, and it seems to be like par for the course, and probably was. I don't want to say like I know, but
yeah,
it would not surprise me at all that this is the situation with the with that being the gun with the engravings. We've seen that before, and like in this recent trend with these like antifa types, and you've seen the shirts and the posters that they put out there that it's all about what does it say, defend trans rights, and it's got like pictures of AK-47s and AR-15s on,
Yeah, because they're men and men like guns. Shout out.
Yeah, totally. Good observation.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that and just like give everybody an update. And
where'd you get the engravings thing? Was this perusing X or something?
Well, it was a top headline on Drudge a minute ago.
Nice.
And not that that's too trustworthy of a source these days, but at least it's a news aggregate,
right?
So you're going to get stuff. But it's reported to the Wall Street Journal from inside sources in the investigation. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. So just like once again, it's just left wing lunacy, and honestly, it's just rhetoric from the mainstream media that is literally warping these people's minds, man. And unfortunately, we lost one of the greatest voices of our generation yesterday.
Yeah, he was a real American hero. Honestly, he did not grow tire. He did not tire in doing what he did. Talking with people.
Nick said this yesterday, and he was right when he was beginning to talk about it. Nick was like, I've never really seen him as too controversial of a figure, to be honest with you.
Right.
I mean, he was like about open debate. He let anyone come up and challenge his ideas, and he would openly discuss things with people. It's unfortunate now that the thing is that basic common sense and dialogue is considered extremism from their side now.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem we're running into, is that there's no reason from their end at all.
Yeah. It's true.
Anyway.
What a mess.
All right. Well, I know you got some other calls, so I'll just let you move the wheels. But, peace be with Bond and all you guys. And I just, once again, appreciate all the work you do. And we cannot let the fear of these people dominate us. But at the same time, you might want to look it up in some security for Jesse, especially when he's going out in public and doing this stuff, because Jesse is on the same wavelength of kind of people that these people would target. So I just want to say that we got to protect our big brother.
Right on, man. Appreciate you, Mr. Pink. Thank you, sir.
All right, hey, have a good day.
You too. Take care. And thanks for the tips. Crazy stuff I was seeing. I'm just perusing the Drudge headlines since he pointed me to Drudge Report. I sometimes still go to Drudge Report sometimes. Shock video, man at the scene cheers the shooting. Yeah. So alleges this headline. Conservative Christians mourn Charlie Kirk as a martyr. Vigil erupts into violence. You saw that on the Jesse Peterson show as a protester sparks a mass brawl. I'm guessing that was the same situation that we saw on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. In the third hour, I guess, this guy rolled what in the world? This guy rolled his scooter through and said, "Forget Charlie Kirk," meaning, but not forget. Trump blames a radical left for the killing before any suspect is identified. He did not actually. He blamed the radical left for the terrorism that we're seeing throughout this country. You didn't listen closely. Elizabeth Warren slams the anti-democratic rhetoric. Typical. South Park episode was pulled. Charlie Kirk's 5 most controversial claims 2014 tweet comes back from the grave. Freedom of the press at the lowest in 50 years. We are the press. The people on X. What a mess, huh? So this is a person of interest. It might not have been the guy who did it. And Mr. Pink suggests he looks like he's in his 20s, and they did say, oh, it looks like he might be college age. That guy could be in his, that could be a guy who's just old but fit looking. Just side note, but I don't know. Terrible. It had the professional hallmarks. Multiple people involved, coordinated, say eyewitnesses, but they're not, I say eyewitnesses are not necessarily reliable. Wall Street Journal says ammunition was engraved with trans and anti-fascist ideology. Wait and see. Wait and see. What a mess. You know, speaking of hate, I played this on the, we played this on Punchy TV. This just ticks me right off. Don't be ticked. But I had much respect to this so-called far-right guy who seemed to handle it well. I mean, what else was he going to do, honestly? But compared to these lemmings, I call them, who act like they're so brave not to shake his hand in France last year in July of 2024. If you checked out Punchy TV yesterday, I have the Punchy. It was a very special Punchy TV because Charlie Kirk died just the hour before or 2 hours before. And we had to cover that, man. So over here, July 2024, French far-right MP Flavien Termet, 22-year-old member of the National Rally National, appointed to welcome deputies during his first session of the newly formed French Parliament. So here's the video footage, and you'll see this 22-year-old man, I guess, in like the chambers of this political thing where these members of parliament go and supposed to shake their hands or offer to shake their hands and greet them. And all these, I'll call them silly dude persons, to quote one of the blacks who called me a silly dude person so as not to cuss at me. Or they were doing like fake rock, paper, scissors stuff, just disrespecting him. One guy got in his face, and he was taller than him and buffer than him, and like tried to intimidate him. And he's like, shake hands with a racist party? Never. And so here's this. Oh no, I'm not going to turn on the video. I mean the audio because it's just music. So you see this guy and all these gals, women mostly, refuse to shake this young man's hand. A male refuses to shake. That gal is, Anchor Baby saw fear in her eyes. That guy pretended to play rock, paper, scissors, very immature. And I dare say, don't say this word too much, kids, but stupid. And then at the end, this guy, he's like making a big show and all drama. They put some envelope into some urn or vase. And that guy's like, whatever. Like, what's wrong with that guy? Watch, look at his face. And so that's an upstanding young man. He has good posture. He's fit. At least he's lean. And all these dumb people. Normally it takes some courage not to shake somebody's hand because you feel the social pressure not to shake somebody's hand. But this didn't take any courage at all because they were all doing the same thing. They had all planned this out, apparently, not to shake his hand because he's from the right wing and it's supposedly racist and that's not socially acceptable. But what they don't realize is he's the brave one, if anybody's brave. Maybe he's not even brave. Maybe he's just falling in line with what he's supposed to do. But I respect this guy for how he handled himself, and I don't respect any of them for how they're handling themselves. Granted, I'm on his side more because he's on the right, and I'm against the left. But The gesture was widely interpreted as a political snub, but it was not universal. Some deputies did shake Termet's hand. Significant number of left-wing and far-left parties, who won most in failing France, did not, including the LFI, Greens, Socialists, and Communists. Really, they have full-blown communists. They abstained. The incident had highlighted deep political visions in France following the 2024 elections last year, in which the left-wing New Popular Front won the most seats, followed by Macron's so-called centrist. Macron's not centrist. He's far left too. Pretty far left. Left, liberal, extreme, commie. And then the National Rally won the fewest seats, and he won, and they don't, and they're evil. Very typical of the white countries self-destructing. Those people who were snubbing him, they didn't necessarily look Jewish, you know, because Jewish tend to be more liberal per capita, or commie per capita. They tend to be less Christian. Or more atheist per capita, right? What a mess, huh? Grown men being clowns for the self-destruction of their country. Also, okay, no, yeah, I lost my place. I forgot where I was. Let me go back to Thursday's show. Also, later on in this, this was actually from a thread, crazy things happening in France. I got to close up shop here soon, guys. I'll get to your calls and your super chats. Further down, an illegal gets citizenship, and he becomes a fireman, an illegal in France, according to this post on X. After rescuing somebody, now take this with a grain of salt. I don't know if I don't feel like looking it up to this day. But look, there's a building with this shaky video. Look at this child hanging, and there's some guy there. What, my child? I don't know how this happened. But look at this young man, this black illegal, I guess he's an illegal, according to this tweet. And he climbs up in a multi-story like apartment building and saves the baby. Isn't that nice? He can stay, and he can become a fireman, scaling a building like a athletic, built for this type of black that he is. I think he's black, right? Guy sees a baby dangling from a high-rise building and switches on his superpowers, scaling the building balcony by balcony, and he was an illegal immigrant living in France, but after he was given instant citizenship by the Prime Minister of France, liberal, and a job as a firefighter, and that's why you fail. I'll repost this. Now, I disclaim, I don't know if it's real or not, okay? Let me also scroll up to the top and repost this, too. Nice. Those are just some other things going on in France. This one ticks me right off, too. But I don't know if he was really, I don't know if this is real or a skit. This is very good timing. This is a theft on a train. Oh, what in the world? What happened? Here, let me open it again. Nice. Look at this. He had this black dude, I guess this is in France, in Paris, on like a subway train type thing, and he had his phone in his hand. Don't be looking at your phone. That's when you get jumped or robbed or struck or killed or anything. Don't be looking at your phone in public. They robbed him right as the door was closing, and so he couldn't chase them or anything because the door closed and he wasn't quick enough. But they really got him, it looks like. I don't know why this guy was recording, though. Was it a skit? Watch. Somebody, a white guy, or a lighter skinned, maybe it's Arab, grabbed it out of his hand, and he's like, what the heck? And he just now he has to just stand and sulk because the train is moving now. Crazy, huh? Just amusing. Just some amusing stuff. Take your mind off the hood, Charlie Kirk, whatever. This is all France stuff, supposedly, right? Thread of viral clips. Here's a purported 1984 German reporter in France, in Paris, I guess, showing how to cross a famous busy street in Paris. I don't know if I'd try this, but this is how he says to do it. I feel like I saw this in a Bruce Lee movie, by the way. And I'm not showing maybe I'll play the audio. Oh, look at him. Hopefully he's not cussing. It's a reporter, right? German. And so what he's saying, walk a steady pace, never look at the drivers, because if you look at the drivers, they'll think that you need to stop for them. And they slowed down for him. He's looking right at the camera. Crazy, huh? 1984, I was like 2 or 3. Look! Whoa! Whoa! I can barely look at people crossing the street over here by Bond. From the post office side of Pico into here. Ooh, this is hairy. There's all kinds of accidents on that right there too. You gotta pay attention. Crazy, huh? I wonder if I'm getting drowned out by that guy speaking. So, watch out. And this is something that Charlie Kirk spoke about here. Let me keep it moving real quick. And then I have to wrap up. This cracked me up. Blacks using my water fountains. So I saw this last month or so. Eric Doherty, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. An old white elderly liberal, he said, breaking! An old elderly white liberal has been spotted holding a sign in protest of Republican Virginia governor candidate Winsome Sears. Oh, that black gal. It reads, hey, Winsome, if trans can't share your bathroom, and Winsome Sears is supposedly a Republican, a black conservative. Cringe. Shout out. Winsome Sears. If trans can't share your bathroom, then blacks can't share my water fountain. And I don't know if this is a regular white woman or a Jewish gal or what. Hey, Winsome, trans can't share your bathroom, then blacks can't share my water fountain. Women, shout out. And here's Winsome Sears. Is that her natural hair? Pretty gal, but she's running for office, some conservative, right? That's funny. So this was, August 21st. I'll repost it. The organizers of the event are panicking. They don't know. Is she a plant? Look at these old gals. Is she a plant? That's based. That's funny. That's funny. And by the way, I saw this. Something was, women are such suckers, right? Shout out. Per X and per like George Orwell. And then I got to wrap it up, guys. This is a George Orwell 1984 quote. I'll repost it. The guy who writes something that's too long. Part 1, Section 1. He disliked nearly all women. And I think this is what stuck in my mind. I feel like I read this in high school. Especially the young and pretty women. It was always the women, and above all the young ones, who were the most bigoted, meaning intolerant of other opinions, other viewpoints. Bigoted adherents of the party, meaning the dominant party that you're supposed to follow. The swallowers of slogans, the amateur spies and nosers out of unorthodoxy. So true, man, so true. So anyway, guys, the rest of the callers, I couldn't get to you. This has been the Hake Report. American Anchor Baby coming up right now. Peace in the Middle East. Or at least in your hearts. You have a chance. Take care, guys. Bye.